How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? It is your captain speaking, Captain Crutch, once again, bringing you another story time. Now, in this one, I wanted to tell you all about the first time that I ever got wasted. Now, what's so significant about this story is this happened back in 2014, right around the time Advanced Warfare came out, and what a trash game that was, by the way. But I specifically remember this incident because those two things go together, this incident and Advanced Warfare. Cause after all this aftermath, I went to my friend Kenzo's house, and we slayed out on some AW. Like I said, it was trash. But anyway, I want to get into the story time here, guys. Now, like I said, this happened back in 2014. This was a Friday after school, and this was my first time ever being invited to a party. Now, it was right around the time that my birthday was around, which is on the 24th, by the way. And my sister was having a slumber party for her birthday party. And there was no way in hell that I was staying at my house with all these women in my house, because they were absolutely crazy. You can only imagine how it is being the only man in a house full of women. I know that doesn't sound that bad, but let me tell you, some of my sister's friends are yikes. Yikes is an understatement. But anyway, after basketball practice, I asked my cousin if I could spend the night at his house. And he said, sure, man. Don't you have a basketball tournament tomorrow? I said, yes, I do. As a matter of fact, can you drop me off in the morning? He goes, sure. Would you like to go to a birthday party? Now, little did I know, a birthday party was a disguise for his parents, for his mother, by the way, to go to this other party, which happened to be serving alcohol. Now, this has been my first, party outside of, any of my other friend groups. I got invited to a party. Now, we were all going to be drinking at this said party. This was my first attempt at drinking alone. I had drank prior with my family, but never really had the access to, truly drink on my own and, get wild and crazy. Now, after school, after my basketball practice, he picks me up. Now, keep in mind, we still have to drop my sister off at home, so we do that. And he's got two other friends in there, and we're going to call them Jonah and David. Now, Jonah and David are experienced drinkers at this point. They've been drinking for a while, weekend partiers at this point. This is a typical Friday night, Saturday night for them. And, they party Friday and Saturday and then recuperate Sunday and go back to school the next day and, get straight A's. So it was amazing. So I get invited to this particular party. Now, it's later on in the evening now, and we stumble upon some alcohol. Now, we got a bottle of wine or two or three. I can't remember. It was quite a bit. And everybody's kind of showing up now. And we got a fire started outside. Now, keep in mind, I said that I never drank before. But that was, like I said, I never drank alone before. So, I never had any experience with figuring out what my limits were. So, when I really got access to my first, alcoholic beverage of, assortments of beer and wine and liquor and all sorts of shit that everybody else brought, I just went wild and crazy. Now, me being me and not really knowing anything about alcohol and how it affects you and, how a little bit can just destroy you and you're gonna feel it the next morning, I'm going ape shit on this shit, right? I'm going crazy. Chug, 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 chug. Chug, 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 chug. Just going down. You could put a funnel and I just take whatever. That kind of mentality. I'm drinking this shit like crazy. Can you imagine a handicapped man like me just going absolutely crazy? I'm 16 at this point. I'm going wild. There's bitches everywhere, and I'm just ooh, this is a fine bitch. I'm gonna take a seat and get my ass drunk and check them out. So, I'm chilling, right? And at this point, I've had a couple beers, right? Everybody's jamming out, listening to music. We're in the middle of the woods. Around the area I'm at in Texas, where I grew up around high school, in my high school area, anyway, there's a lot of woods, and there's not a lot to do around my area, so a party like this is, typical. This is a typical Friday night for most high schoolers. Now, do they condone it? Not really, but we do it anyway, or we did. So, this was, a weekend thing. Now, I didn't participate in a lot of these, but it happens. It happens consistently. So like I said, I'm drinking a couple beers. I'm feeling good. Like I'm noticing the effects of the alcohol pretty rapidly. And I'm thinking to myself, oh god, like I'm feeling good. I can handle this. This isn't too bad. Until somebody hands me a bottle of red wine. Now what's interesting about red wine is red wine gets you a certain type of drunk. Now, if you've never had experience of drinking any wine and having a hangover from wine, it's probably the worst hangover you can get, especially red wine, because of the way it affects your body and your blood vessels and all sorts of shit. I can't really get scientific, but somebody handed me a bottle of wine. Now, like I said, I had no experience drinking prior, so as I'm turning up these beers and somebody hands me a bottle of wine, somebody turns it up for me, like holds the bottle and turns it up. I'm chugging, chug. I'm trying to be a badass and impress all these people because they've never seen a handicapped man get wasted like me. And the only other time they see me get crazy is at like pep rallies and stuff doing push-ups. So I'm trying to be a badass and put my biggest hat on and impress these people, which is not the best thing to do when you've never drank before. I'm chugging this shit. I'm chugging it. I get halfway down the bottle and I am out of there. I am feeling so fucking drunk. You don't even understand. Like let's just say I'm glad I had my crutches because I can't walk already, but I'm pretty sure if I could walk, I couldn't walk then because I was feeling spaghetti noodle leg. Like, it was crazy. So, around the time that I get finished chugging like half a bottle of wine, I start getting the feeling where you're like, oh my god, oh, I'm feeling so bad. Like, not feeling bad, but you're feeling drunk, and you can notice that you're feeling drunk. Like, your vision starts getting blurry. You intensify the noises around you. You can hear it, and I'm feeling like kind of sick to my stomach, but not really. I'm feeling drunk, so I keep drinking, and people keep handing me drinks. Smoking a couple cigarettes. I'm smoking them down. At this point, I've had like 12 cigarettes because everybody's standing around in a circle, and I'm just, can I have a cigarette? Can I have a cigarette? Can I have a cigarette? And I'm fucking drinking and smoking cigarettes, sitting in a chair while everybody else is standing around the fire. And I'm just getting plastered at this point. And like I said, I don't condone doing this, but you gotta keep in mind, I was in high school, so I was having the time of my life listening to country music and vibing out with everybody. Everybody was feeling good. Now, we had a plan of having a designated driver, and obviously we always did, but thank God we did because I really needed the help after this incident. So, like I said, I chugged some more alcohol. I've already had at least 6 beers by this point. Now, keep in mind, like I said, I don't know my limit, so I've already had 6 beers and half a bottle of wine, red wine to be exact. Like I said, that shit will fuck you up. So be careful on the red wine, guys. So, after everybody gets started getting ready to wind up and go home, I stand up. I'm feeling drunk. And what happens when you stand up after you've been sitting down and drinking mass amounts of alcohol? You start the spins, bro. And I had never experienced spinning, and I lost control. Like, that shit really put me on my ass because I had never experienced having the spins. Oh my god, I thought something was severely wrong. And I spinned around about 4 times trying to get myself cohesive enough to stand up and make it to the truck so we can go home. And 3, 2, 1, I felt it in my gut. And I just absolutely vomited. Projectile vomited everywhere. And that was typical of my drinking experience. Usually, if I get that kind of blasted and drunk like that, it's going to end up in a vomit session. And that's typical for everybody, especially your first time drinking. You're like, oh my god, but I'm a handicapped man, and I'm holding on to my crutches trying to puke by the tree. I'm so disoriented, not even caring about people around me. I'm pissing on the fucking side of the tree trying to hold myself and piss and throw up at the same time, and everybody's laughing. You okay, man? You okay? Yeah, I'm okay, bro. And I finally get to where I'm oh my god, let's go home. My cousin loads me up in the truck, and this is where it gets interesting now. So we're driving home, typical way home. Everybody's chilling, listening to music. I'm like, man, I'm feeling sick, bro. Like, I have to quit swerving in the car, bro. I'm feeling sick. Open the door, bro. Open the door. I open the door. Keep in mind, I'm locked in with a seatbelt. He opens the door so I don't puke in his truck. Not like it would matter. The thing was a piece of shit anyway, but that's beside the point. I puked in the truck. Or I didn't even puke in the truck. I opened the door to puke. And keep in mind, like I said, I was locked in with a seatbelt. I literally fell out of the seatbelt while he was like slowly moving, at least going like 5 miles an hour, slowly moving. I fell out of the seatbelt while I was literally strapped in through the seatbelt. Like, I fell through the seatbelt. Don't ask me how. I landed in these people's yards. Little did I know it was somebody I knew from school's yard. It was probably the funniest shit I've ever had to relive. Once people were telling me about it, I'm thinking to myself, oh my god, I made an embarrassment of myself. But that's not even the worst part. I get home to my cousin's house, and I'm so messed up that I can't even make it into the house. He's literally dragging me into the bedroom, and thank God his mom didn't see me getting dragged in, because we would have gotten so much trouble. She asked us if we had been drinking, and we literally said no, and nothing was ever said. But my God, was I not expecting the first mayhem of my God, mother load of hangovers of my life. And I've only had 2 major hangovers, and this was one at 16 and one at 21, probably 22, was probably my worst one ever. And you've already heard that story time, but I'll retell it on this story with better audio. But he drugged me into the house. His mom asked us if we were drinking. We said no. At this point, I don't even want to get into bed. I'm laying on the floor. I think I threw up a little bit more in the trash can and passed out. Now, keep in mind, I said that I had to go to a basketball tournament. And, I could not miss that. But looking back at it, I probably could have called in and made some excuse not to go. But I wanted to stick it out and try to make it. So my cousin wakes me up the next morning to take me to the gym so I can go to this basketball tournament at this other school that's adjacent in our town. Pretty close. So I wake up and oh my God, it feels like I have 100 pieces of glass in my head. Just any noise, any movement is absolutely destroying me. I'm crying to myself, oh my God, this hurts so bad. What am I going to do? And I'm thinking, my God, maybe if I get in the shower, it'll feel better. I turned it on the hottest water possible, put under my head, and I just can't even comprehend what's going on. Trying to bathe, but it's hurting so bad that I couldn't even bathe. Imagine a handicapped man experiencing his first hangover ever, and it's already hard to walk, and I'm already struggling. I'm like, oh God, I don't think I can make it. And I was like, well, maybe if I make it to the gym, I'll be better and everything will go smoothly. Boy, was I wrong. I made a huge mistake thinking that. Now, what I'm saying this is, we get to the gym to go to the school that we were going to do this tournament at. Keep in mind, I got 4 games I got to do, sit through, of loud buzzers and everything, and I wasn't really taking that into account. Now, I get to the school, everything's fine, I'm feeling decent, until that damn buzzer sounds off 14 times and gives me a massive headache. And I already have bad migraines as it is, but that buzzer went off a couple times, and I had to make a beeline to the bathroom once to go to the bathroom and throw up, because I was still feeling drunk from the night before, and I was hungover from the night before. I puked my brains out in the bathroom. The first time we go out to go to the first game, we complete the first game, go back in the locker room, everything's good. It's the third game, when I had to hear that buzzer to go off the third time, man, it instantly hit me, and I got halfway to the bathroom, and I literally puked in front of the other team's door. It was embarrassing, but it was also funny at the same time. And it's funny because my coach asked me my senior year, really what happened, because I made some damn excuse that I had some bad sushi because I was scared I was going to get in trouble with the coach, and I didn't want to get kicked off the basketball team because I made some stupid decision to drink the night before. And he asked me, "What were you drunk that day?" And I was like, "Yes." And he thought it was the funniest thing ever, honestly. It was pretty cool about it, to be honest. Now, do I really condone doing this? No, I don't. But I think it's funny because, my friends were always cool with me in high school. so they never really like put me down, and they didn't really understand, like, I was just me. I wasn't the disabled kid everybody knew from school. I partied a lot with them and really tried to experience as much as I could. Now, we did some stupid shit, don't get me wrong, but it definitely taught me a lesson not to go crazy with my alcohol consumption. And with that being said, I hope you all enjoyed the story time, because once I literally got back to the freaking, once I threw up in the locker room now, my coach got pissed, right? He's like, man, you need to go home. Well, I didn't have any way home, and I damn sure wasn't going to tell my parents that I was drinking and I got hungover. So, his coach took me home. His coach took me home. His wife took me home. And I literally was so intoxicated from the night before and hungover, the mixture of the two, I took her to the wrong house, guys. I don't know why, but I took her to the wrong house. I didn't know how to get home. I was so disoriented I couldn't get to the house. Now, that is saying something when you can't even make it to your own house. I was literally in the back seat trying to fight the urge to not throw up all over her white interior, because it was getting pretty fucking close. Pretty fucking close, as in like 2 seconds more and I probably would have. I literally jumped out of that car and got in the house and threw up all in the bathroom while my sister's friends were there, and nobody ever questioned it. And then I literally went home and slept it off for about 3 hours, and then went to Kenzo's house and played some AW, and everything was fine. But I just learned not to overdo it at these parties, and really, I didn't learn my lesson because I did it like 2 more times after that. But, that first one's always a rough one, and that definitely was a rough one. I hope y'all enjoyed the story time. Once again, let me know what you'd like about this story time in the comments. I'm trying to get better for you guys so I can produce the best content I can. Keep in mind, guys, it's the holidays. My birthday's on the 24th, so we have Thanksgiving coming up. After Thanksgiving, I will be doing a vlog video for you guys, so y'all have something to see while I'm on vacation. I'll be with Kenzo, so we'll do another vlog together. But I hope y'all enjoyed the story time. Once again, this has been Captain Crutch. I'll see you in another video. Bye, guys.